When I was younger, I used to define myself as an actor, which was never really all that fulfilling. And then I became a husband, and that was much better. And then I became a father, and that was the ultimate. For a long time, that felt like a really good definition to the question, who am I? What am I? And then this year, I had to look my own mortality in the eye. I had to come nose to nose with death. And all of those definitions that I cared so deeply about were stripped from me.
This is such a profound reminder and a healthy warning to live for what matters.
And so I was faced with the question, if I am just a too skinny, weak guy alone in an apartment with cancer, what am I? And I meditated, and the answer came through, I am worthy of God's love simply because I exist. And if I'm worthy of God's love, shouldn't I also be worthy of my own? I offer that to you, however it sits in your consciousness, however it resonates, run with it. And if the word God trips you up, I certainly don't know. I can't claim to know what God is or explain God. My efforts to connect to God are an ongoing process that is a constant unfolding mystery to me. But if it's a trigger, it feels too religious, you can take the word God out, and your mantra can simply be, I am worthy of love because you are.
Look, even though we know we are fragile and mortal, it's so easy to live as though we're not. And I'll admit, I have lived a relatively easy life, but I can admit, at least intellectually, that what he is saying is true. Nothing strips away the illusion of control or the delusion of placing value in material things like the reality of death. It was in his moment of desperation that James experienced a revelation of God's love for him. And I applaud this message. But here's the thing, is what he's saying the whole story? You see, at the end of the video, he strips God of his name and his identity, and he reduces him to this vague spiritual force or vibe or feeling. And I understand his motivation, right? Not wanting to trigger anyone or exclude anyone, but in doing so, he loses the very substance of his message. When you were a kid and you felt afraid or alone, it wasn't this abstract idea of a dad or a mom that soothed you. It was the real thing, the words, the presence, the reassuring touch. And while God is not material in the way an earthly father or mother is, he is also not an undefinable spiritual essence. God is not an abstract force. His love was made clear in the most concrete way possible by sending his son Jesus, not only to prove his love, but to conquer death and to offer life beyond it. So yeah, you are worthy of love, but not some abstract, vague love, but love from the one who truly knows you and made you. And that gives us real hope.